How much have you talked to Dave this offseason?
Not a lot, actually. We have been trying to get together since preseason started, but he's been traveling. I've been busy, and he wants to work hard not to bother me, but I caught him in the weight room the other day, so we caught up pretty quick then.
What's that first conversation with him like now, obviously with you in a fall cycle as the head coach?
Dave, how did you feel at this point last year? Any words of wisdom that you can give me? And he just asked how things are going, how the players are doing. His first question is always about the players that he coached, obviously, and asking to make sure if I'm okay. So he's like a dad in that sense.
How is this go-around, you think, going to be different for you than your experience down in North Carolina?
I'm Rita now. Before I tried to be someone I wasn't. I tried to do things that weren't in my normal nature. And I promised myself that I'm just going to be Rita. I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to probably be immature. I just told Katie that. Probably immature in a couple areas just because I love to laugh. I love to just enjoy myself. So I want to sprinkle that in, and I think it's carried over into how the players care and how they carry themselves in the midst of. So I'm going to be true to Charita, actually.
Why did you think you had to be a different person in that first go-around as a head coach?
When I applied for NC State, I applied because everyone told me I was ready to be a head coach. I didn't do it because I thought I wanted to be a head coach or even thought that I was ready for it. And so this go-around, I prepared myself. I would say it out loud, I want to be a head coach, and I would share that with individuals. And I think that there is something about preparing what you're going to do by speaking it out loud. So I believe in speaking things into existence. And so I made sure that I got out and said it in front of people. I did things that will show that I'm capable of being in this position, whereas before I did not.
You've talked a little bit about that, being able to be vulnerable and share yourself. Do you think that's different now?
I was stubborn then, and I thought I knew everything. Coming from the Pac-12 going to the ACC, I thought I was superior. I didn't think that I needed anyone's help or advice, and I sank pretty quickly. So now I am the first person to say I need help or I don't know, or you guys, let's go find this answer out together. So yes, vulnerability is top of my list.
We don't know, obviously, a whole lot about the North Carolina State program, but do you feel like you're set up better for success here at Arizona than you were there?
I know how to ask for what I need to be successful. I didn't know then. I believe I know more about Arizona. I've played in the league. I've been coaching for a long time here. So I have a better understanding of what it takes and what is actually needed. When you go to a different state and a different conference with different players, every day is a new day. So you're just learning something. And I didn't take the time to learn. I was just trying to do.
Speaking of that, you're going to have one more year here, and then you have to learn again. What are you thinking about that, about the Big 12?
I'm excited about the move. I think that it is what's best for us, and that's not a knock against any, the Pac-12 or saying the Big 12 is superior. It has nothing to do with that. I think the change is awesome. I think that new rivalries will be able to be formed. We can still get to play ASU, which I think is really crucial and important for us, for the state. I think that the travel is something that is different, but I think that it can be something we can embrace and take advantage of.
How did you want to attack the transfer portal to get, obviously some immediate help?
I'm sorry, can you say
How
that?
did you want to attack the transfer portal in order to get some immediate help? Obviously, you got a setter out of UConn and a transfer from USC.
Well, once Emory left, we knew immediately we needed to get someone in here. You can't run a successful program without two high-quality, top-notch setters. So it was important. That was our first goal, was to get that. And then it was by chance that we had money available when Jordan decided to transfer. It wasn't that was part of the plan. But my goal is to have money at the end of every semester, just in case. You never know.
Are you talking NIL money in terms of that? Or?
I'm talking scholarship.
Oh, scholarship.
Money. Yes. And NIL opportunities, I will love to have as many as possible. So if anyone's watching, we could use you.
What happened with Kaylin? She was supposed to come too, but not on the roster right now?
Kaylin decided that it was not best for her, just academically. She wants to pursue medicine, and she thought that it would be too much for her, so she said no.
And Kaysen, what are you seeing from her as bringing in a setter from outside the program?
Her and Anna are completely different than one another in terms of their style of play and their feel for the game. I think that it's good for us. I think we've spoke before. I want players that are different. I want each player to bring something different to the table, which will make it more of a challenge when you face us. And so Kaysen is someone that understands setting. She has a feel for it. That's just how her brain works. And in that position, that's what you want and need.
Thing you felt like you needed to do to jumpstart this program? I mean, obviously, and maybe the 2021 spring was a little bit of an anomaly, but a lot of folks look like that was a team that was set up for a lot of success in 21, 22. Now coming into 23 with a lot of that same core group, especially the outside hitters. So what was the first thing you felt like you needed to do to get to that success level?
Allow them to have the opportunity to do what they do. I think each and every one of them are good in their own right, and there's things they bring to the table. In order for them to feel like they can do that, you got to give them a little latitude. And so there will be times they do something that I may not necessarily agree with, but there's a rhyme or reason behind it. So there's not a time I can ask them a question and they don't have an immediate response. This is what I was trying to do. This is what I was looking to accomplish. This is what was going on. So I wanted them to have the latitude to just breathe and play the game.
Your back row, how's it coming along in these early days? What are you seeing in the passing?
We're better than I thought we were going to be, if I'm being completely honest about that. I think that we have two different pockets of players. We have four that are in one position, another four that are working hard to try to get themselves in a better position, and the competition is what we need. My goal is to keep the bigs in the back row as long as I can so that we can be as offensive as possible, but we have littles that are capable of going in there, stepping up. They're just energy bunnies right now, and it's good. They challenge each other, which is something that you need in that position. That person has to be willing to step in front of a big and say, get out of the way, I'm going to pass this ball so you can get up there and terminate. And so they are the leaders of this team right now in terms of their vocalness, and that's something that we haven't necessarily had from multiple people. In the past, it would be one person here or one person there, but by giving them their power back in terms of using their voice, in terms of having the ability to know that it's okay. And that's the whole vulnerable part. Everyone's not good at everything, and we talk about that. This is your strength, own it. This isn't your strength, okay, go to the person that can help you with that. And so that's what the little people have brought to the table.
And Joy, she did some traveling this year.
Yes.
Coming back, what do you see from that travel experience from her?
It's interesting because Joy, while she was gone, she was playing a little volleyball, but not really. And so the time off, I was a little afraid of, rusty, cobwebs, whatnot. She stepped right in where she was last year and has actually raised the bar a little bit in terms of her defensive aspect. She was always good at passing, but it was like the serving, the defense were kind of up and down. But she's owning it. She's saying, I want to do this. And that's one of the things that they've done, and I've explained to them that's important, is to make sure that you say out loud what you want. And I can say that because that's what I did. And so it's like, I want to be the starting libero. I want to be the starting setter. I plan on being the outside hitter that's terminating and scoring. And you have to say those things out loud, and that's what Joy did.
How would you best describe what the style of this team is going to be?
Real. I mean, we're going to be real in everything that we do. We've got a couple crowd pleaser plays that we're trying to put into the mix of things, and we're calling it just that because I think that the team is a reflection of the coach, and so I tell them all the time, this is what I would do, this is what I would not do. This is how I am. Are you a reflection of me right now? And that's by owning where we are in our whole development and being transparent about who we are and what we're capable of doing. Don't be upset if you can't do this because we got someone else who can do it.
This early going, who's kind of standing out to you?
The Pens in general. I think that we have 5 solid bodies that can go out there and bang and terminate with anyone, and that's exciting. Sophia, who played on the Mexico national team over the summer, her game has gone to another level offensively and blocking and whatnot. I think that the littles have been very pleasing. I can put any 4 of them in various situations. They've stepped up. We will continue to work on our rhythm with the setting, but that's by nature. They're both young in that part. But it's nice that they'll have experienced hitters around them. And Elena is offensive, which is exciting.
And, I mean, Puck maybe didn't have the year she expected last year. What do you want from her?
You know, Puck is very mature, and she is probably as transparent as anyone. And so her goal is to be able to be used when necessary. And she's always said, and I'm going to tell you what she told me, because she just told me yesterday. She was like, Rita, I have no problem if I'm not on the floor, as long as other people are doing their job. And that's the type of gym we have. And so I have no problem backing up and not saying anything if Deidre is saying the right thing. And so we're putting ourselves in a position for that. But Puck will be the passing outside hitter, and she can score. And she can score out of system with the best of them. And she knows that. So she doesn't get upset if the ball isn't perfect. She goes after and does, and so that she can be the best that she is.
My mother, your sorority sister, would kick me if I didn't ask you how the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated has played a role in your success and as a leader for you in this community, this volleyball community.
The bond that the sisterhood has is unbelievable. Every person reached out to me when I was hired. They started buying season tickets. They're going to have a little section for me at the games and whatnot. It's refreshing because, you know, as a coach, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be terrified on the first match, let's just be honest. I think I'll be fine at 10 because, it's, you know, not as many people come. By 7 o'clock, I may be sweating, and I'm not a sweater. So it's going to be nice to be able to look in different little sections of people that are coming that are supporting me as a person, not me as a coach. And for me, that's more important. So I have, like, my son's basketball parents. Rita, we're coming to watch you. I was just at lunch a little bit ago. Rita, we're coming to see you. And I'm like, okay, how about y'all come see the game? But nonetheless, I'm excited whatever it takes. But my sisterhood is near and dear to my heart. I don't get to go to a lot of meetings because they're on Saturday at 10 o'clock. Coach, hello. But I'm still involved in everything that takes place, and their support of me it makes me feel wonderful.
We're getting a pro league.
2.
Yeah. And Kendra will be playing in Atlanta.
She'll be playing in Atlanta, and she's still planning on coaching with UC Davis in the midst of. I'm not sure how she's going to do both, but that's her plan until they tell her otherwise. And then there's the Athletes Unlimited was in Phoenix, and so we're going to go up as a staff in October, I think it is, when we're going to go up there. And they want the players, if they're able to come, to do the coin toss. So we're getting involved as much as we can, and that's one of the things we talk about in the program is because now, before it was like, I don't know that I want to go overseas and play. I want to play professional, but I don't know. By the time you're senior year, you're kind of like, we'll see. But now that there's teams here in the States, it gives them something to strive for. And last year with Ziana, when she decided she wanted to play, I was like, hey, Zai, every block you get is like another $. And so she started laughing. She goes, really? I go, that's exactly how you should look at it. And so we have several players on our team who have aspirations of playing professional. And now that there's 2 leagues taking place with some reputable coaches out there, great backing and support. And actually, Kaysen's mom is a key figurehead in the Love League. So you ask her about that.
Anything else for Coach Stubbs? All right, we'll bring the players in.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're joined by Joy Gallus, Jalen Hodge, Kaysen Rosenthal, and Jordan Wilson. Kim, you want to take it away?
Kaysen, tell us about your mom and the pro league and all, her involvement.
Yeah, so she works for League One, and so I don't know the correct title, but she's like the director of community interaction or something. So she works with all the clubs across the country, and it's super cool because pro leagues have never been a thing in the States before, and it's so cool just to see it like pan out like that because it's a good opportunity for us if we want to play pro too, and it's really cool to see some of the behind the scenes, like having her work there. So, yeah.
Kaysen, how did this opportunity here at Arizona come along for you?
Oof. So it was super quick, really. Like, I was at Connecticut for only a semester, and the first day I was in the transfer portal, Dave reached out, and we had, like, maybe 2 or 3 phone conversations, and it just was a really great fit. And my sister is coming, or she's already here, but she's playing beach here, so that was a really big incentive to come here, and it's a lot closer to my family. So
then when Dave obviously announced he was going to retire, what were those conversations with Rita like to make the commitment stick?
So I was already here when he announced that he was retiring, but it wasn't I wasn't too committed to him at that point, just because I hadn't been coached by him. I didn't know him well enough yet. So, but Rita coming in is a great opportunity for the team, and it's just been great so far.
Joy, you did a lot of traveling this summer. Tell us what you did and how you feel after, coming back after that time away.
Yeah, so I got the opportunity to go abroad last semester, excuse my voice, but it was incredible. I had spoken to Dave and Rita about it after our past season, and they were super supportive. They thought it'd be a great opportunity for me as long as I played with the team out there. And so I played with FC Barcelona, which is the club out there, and I think that gave me a lot of experience, something I hadn't had before. It was in a different language, and just a different coaching style and playing style. So the traveling was incredible. It's my dream. I'm from Brazil, so I've always kind of had that in my life, traveling back and forth from countries. And so I got to see a lot, and I got to experience a lot. Coming back here, it feels like a breath of fresh air. I feel like a new player. I'm so excited to be back with my teammates. I think it was perfect.
So when you go home to Rio,
Yeah.
what's the best thing about that experience for you? And then of the maybe places you've never been,
Yeah.
what's the best thing you saw?
I think the culture and the family aspect. I have a huge family down there, and I think Brazilian culture is very outgoing. It's friendly, it's lively. People love life down there, so I get to go down there, and I'm just surrounded by love, and I'm very grateful. And then I go to Rio, and I also go to Brasilia, which is like the capital. It's right in the middle. Not much to do other than hanging out with family, so it's a lot of quality time that I don't get here.
So Jordan, why was it that you wanted to come back to the state exactly?
So I wanted to come back, and I wanted to come to Arizona to be closer to my family. I'm originally from like the Phoenix area, more Chandler, Gilbert, and I just wanted to make travel easier for my family, and I also wanted to be able to visit them a lot because when I was back at SC, everyone on the team was pretty much from California. So watching them be able to go home like every single weekend, and I had to like stay back and not be able to see my family, I was like, oh, that's such a bummer. Like I wish I could go see my family and like just be able to hang out with them pretty much whenever I want. So they're a huge factor and big reason why I wanted to come back home.
For Jalen and Joy, just what's the biggest change with Rita taking over so far?
I think everything is more fast-paced, and she's not harder on us, but I think her standards for us are higher, and she holds us to a higher standard, and just, I don't know, just like she hates excuses, so it's either you do it or you don't, and I think I really like that about her.
I think having her in the gym previously as well made the transition much more fluid. I think that we've always had a lot of respect for Rita as a coach, and honestly as like a mother figure as well. She cares a lot about us, and we care a lot about her, so I think that we want to do really well for her this season, and everyone's kind of holding each other accountable, push towards one common goal. So.
I mean, everyone else, though, on the coaching staff is new.
Yeah.
What's that like, getting to know all these new people at once and their styles? And
I think it's been awesome. Deetra's really wise, she's smart, and she's calm, so that's one side. And then we got Ryan, who's younger, kind of more jokes around more, but also very knowledgeable. And we've never had a littles coach before, so that's been great for the littles and I think. And then Steven's a great guy. He knows a lot about setting, and I just think that we've got a really eclectic group that works really well together.
Yeah, just having some of the younger staff on our side just brings more like energy to the practices. We haven't had games yet, but I feel like that will translate to the games, and having more of that on the sideline brings that out more on the court too.
Yeah.
Jalen, a year and a half ago, when people first saw you and Sophia play together, there was a thought process that, man, we've got two pins now that could take us to the next level. Obviously, that did not necessarily happen in the last 2 years. So what, in your mind, needs to take place for this team to get back to the NCAA tournament?
I think we were such a young group coming in, and all of us have obviously like grown up and taken that leadership into
I don't know, like a different perspective. Like we know it's our last year and we want to get to the tournament this year. That's like our #1 goal. So I think knowing that and bringing it out of like Jordan is obviously going to help us a lot. Puck, Sydney, I think having that depth on the team that we didn't have before is really going to help us. And just more competitive already in practices. So I think that.
Sophia just came back, right?
Yeah.
Did you watch her when she was playing with Mexico?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I watched some, and I know she excelled a lot and got so much better. And I think that is helping us because she came out of her shell a lot this past spring and past year. So that helps having another voice on the court. Unlike the first year we were here, it was really quiet on her side, but now she came out of her shell, and it's so much more fun to be around and play with.
I think that Jalen and Sophia have had an incredible skill set since freshman year, but the biggest difference, I think, is the confidence. I think that they step on the court and they know exactly what they're doing, and their energy is infectious now, whereas before, I think that they were more kind of to themselves.
Yeah, just more timid and waiting for someone else to take that role. But I
Yeah.
feel like now we've like grown into our role on the team and our spot. So
Confidence.
And I had asked Jordan before about this, but you guys played against each other in high school, right?
yeah.
So you get, what's it like, being opponents, and what'd you see from her across the net that you like on your team now?
Yeah, I think before it was just funny, like knowing she was coming here, just weird to like know we used to play against each other, but she's so athletic, and I think that's going to help us a lot on the pin. So, yeah.
Jason, how would you describe your setting style?
Oh, that's a good question. I like to think, oh gosh. I don't even know. I like to think that I take my setting style off of the players that I play with. Like, I feed a lot off of their energy and the feedback they give me and try to just be the best version of myself for them.
And for the two pins, like what's the biggest thing you have to learn about her quickly to make it cohesive come game night?
That's a good question.
Knowing I could like go to her and tell her what I need to make us both better is very important to have. Like in the past, it was hard, but I feel like Kaysen has a personality where you can go and tell her like what you need from her and she'll fix it right away.
I agree. She's really easy to communicate with, and I think she understands like right away like what changes are that need to be done and like what's working really well. So I think you did a really great job at that.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Anything else?
When this team steps on the court for the home opener, what will fans be expecting from this squad and the new players and just your style as a team?
I think the cohesiveness and the energy. I mean, off the court, we're great friends, and I think that makes a very big difference. I've been saying this since the beginning. The group of girls that Dave and Rita has recruited, I think that their main priority is always how we get along with each other off the court, and I'm super grateful to have a team that really does get along well, and I think we all want each other to do so well, and it really shines through our playing.
I agree with Joy. Just playing for each other more than anything else is going to help us. I think we worked a lot on our defense this summer and last spring, so that will translate to our offense and just make us overall a better team.
Jordan, curious. Before you left USC to come here, what was the feeling within the student athlete community about the move of the program to the Big Ten?
What do you mean?
In terms of the student athletes, how were they feeling about that outside of football in terms of like Olympic sports? What was the feeling between volleyball and some of the other sports about that pending with the Big Ten?
I think it's exciting. I'd say like it's an exciting feeling because you're going to be playing like a whole bunch of new competitors, teams you've never played before. It's just a huge eye opener. I'd say you get to, I don't know, like I just say the competition's very different instead of just playing people that you've been playing for like the past however many years it was. So I don't really know. I don't know how to answer that. I just say it was exciting.
For Kaysen and Jordan, what are you most excited for playing in McHale?
Just, I think the atmosphere, like it's a way bigger community than I was coming from, and the fans are super involved, and I'm just excited to play with our team. Like, it's a whole new team basically, and it's just gonna be a lot of fun.
I fully agree. I'd say the support that we have from the community, you can tell that they really love our team and coming to watch us and support us. So just because like their support, like it makes me want to like play harder for them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited for that.
Rita's been pushing like the season ticket sales. So you guys got a record, I need, of season tickets. So what does that make you feel like that the fans do want to come out and support this first year and see what you guys are doing?
I think that Rita is really well known around the community, and I think a lot of people respect her. And I think that she's doing a great job at advocating for us. She has a lot of belief in what we can do, and I think that she's just letting everybody know, and people agree with her. So I'm excited to prove to everybody.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.